Hello and welcome to the Sound Lab podcast. Interviews unedited. On today's show, interviews with Sarah Darling, Venus Girls, Hooton Tennis Club, Sam Garrett, plus we throw back to 2000 Trees Festival 2023 to chat to headliner Bullet For My Valentine. So, without further ado, let's kick off with our first interview of the show, and it comes from Sarah Darling. She's been busy releasing new music, and we had a chat with her all about it. So, Sarah Darling, how are you?
How are you? It's so good to see you.
And you indeed. We've been playing a new single of yours called Red Mustang. Tell us a bit about the single, first of all.
Red Mustang is a track off of my album Canyon, and Canyon is really just this celebration of the music I grew up on. So I'm a lover of Laurel Canyon, Fleetwood Mac, 1970s California style of music, and that was kind of what I grew up on as a kid, and kind of, over the years I've made, country records and lots of that, but this is sort of a blend of those two feelings together, and it was just such a fun process to be able to make this record. And so Red Mustang is literally about driving down the 101 in a 1966 Red Mustang. It really happened. It was a true story, and I wrote a song about it, and it kind of kicked off the whole record. So it was the starter of the album.
Yeah, nice. And speaking of Canyon, your new record, the sound you've made with the record, is it the sound you wanted, or is it kind of just how it turned out as you were writing and recording it?
I definitely set out to create that sound. I wanted the record to feel like a road trip, just to be able to turn it on, and no matter where you were in the world, who was listening, it just you could, you wanted to experience that nostalgia. And I did set out to kind of create that, and I really do feel like that came through as well.
Good. And I'm sure you wrote more than what made it onto this record. What happens to those now? Do you consider them again down the line, or is it a case of starting afresh when the time comes?
I think, it's funny. I'm always working on new music as as I've put this out. So I think right now I have, I'm sitting on about 50 new songs that hopefully will be towards this next project, which I'm excited about.
Yeah. Have you put thought towards it yet? And is it going to be sooner rather than later?
I actually think sooner than later. I think I'll be in the studio late October already, which is crazy to think
Mm,
about. But yeah, I do.
good. Can't wait for that. I like to talk about the writing process as well. So for you, how do tracks normally start off?
The tracks usually start off with an idea, and I will put them a lot of times in my phone, and I won't write them like right away. It'll be a mull on it for a couple weeks, and then it'll just kind of come out. But I do like to initially write down the idea, um, because you can lose it. Like I think there's like this moment with music where you just kind of the magic comes in, and then you have to write it down, and then it all like kind of comes together at one point. But I definitely don't write things usually on the spot. They take me a minute to kind of figure out what I want to say exactly.
Yeah, I can well imagine. And when it comes to the lyrics side of things, is it quite straightforward to kind of create the entirety of the lyrics, or is it a bit of a challenge at times?
It is a challenge at times. I think in Nashville, there's a pressure to write a song in a day and it to be finished. And I actually don't really believe in that mentality. I think that, you should work on it until you feel like, the song is where you want it to be. And I think that's something I'm learning when I go to different places, especially out of Nashville. Um, Being creative happens when you feel, creative. So you should just listen to that. And
Mm,
but yeah, sometimes it takes me, a little bit of time to get the lyric where I want it to be.
mm. And it's been over 15 years of you releasing music now. How have you and how has the music and the writing process evolved and changed over the years?
It is completely changed. I always say that like whatever whatever I'm going through with that in that season definitely comes out through the music. And I think it's really sweet to watch the growth. I released an album called Dream Country several years ago, and that that was very much exactly like it sounds. It was dreamy and it was country and a lot of strings and, you know, kind of fast forward to now, Canyon has a very, uh, you know, a lot of harmonies and kind of folky country kind of twang to it. And I think that's really cool, like to kind of see the evolution and where you end up. And I think this next record will be even different. So that will be the fun of it all.
Yeah, nice. And you are currently here in the UK doing some shows. How have they been going so far?
They've been going great. I've had two already with Ward Thomas, and I love those girls so much. They're so talented. I've been a fan of them for a very long time. And yeah, we went on tour in 2017 and became really good friends. We've written songs together. And then now we're touring right now. We've had a couple dates in England, and then we're going to Scotland tomorrow. The first show kicks off on the 19th, which will be wonderful. But yeah, it's really fun. We're just friends out on tour. Kind of happened because we were having lunch in a pub last year, and they said, "Hey, do you want to go on tour with us?" So
nice, yeah, nice. And just over a week left of that tour. And apart from just a couple more dates in November over in the US, there's not much else booked in at the moment. Are you hoping to add some more dates this year, or do you think that'll be it?
I think that will be it. I have a few Christmas shows that are like at a winery locally, like where I grew up. So I'm just kind of keeping it simple and working on new music. So which I think is a good focus in the colder months to start creating again.
Yeah, nice. And what do you think 2026 is going to hold for you?
I think 2026 is going to be just, it's going to, you know, I mean, 2025, I've never toured as much across the United States. So I think I'll be doing a lot more touring, but I think I'll have a new record that's ready to go next year. I do think I'll be coming back here. That's a big goal of mine to be able to do my own shows, full band here. So that's a big goal that I'm kind of looking forward to as well.
Yeah, nice. Is there anywhere you've not been and toured yet that you want to go and play at some point?
Oh goodness. You know, I wouldn't mind like going to tour some in Canada for some reason. I think you know, musically I feel like it would connect. I've always wanted to go tour in Canada for some reason. So but yeah, that or anywhere that would have me. Australia as well. I hear country music does quite well there as well.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with Sarah Darling. Now, we are all over social media, so come and find us at The Soundalab Yes on all the socials, and you can also check out the website at thesoundalabuk.co.uk. So while you go and find us on all the socials and give us some follows, we're going to play you our next interview from Venus Girls. Had a catch up with them at 2000 Trees Festival earlier this year to talk about new music and more, and this is what they had to say. So, Venus Girls, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, it's warm.
Warm, yeah.
We Brits like to complain about weather, don't we?
Yeah. It's never right, is it?
Oh, no, there's no weather that I like, so yeah, we'll just keep complaining. You're here at 2000 Trees. How's your festival weekend been so far?
Well, we experienced it last night because we camped, me and Hannah, and we got to experience the silent disco and everyone wearing headphones, and we didn't have headphones. And we were just like, what's going on? And there were like more and more people with headphones, and yeah. And anyway, we just sort of observed and danced to the people singing.
Yeah, it is odd to watch silent disco, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we were literally the only ones like without headphones, so it was one of those where like, yeah, we didn't want to like be left out, but then we couldn't afford to join them, could we?
So we observed. Although I think it was like a piece in itself, you know, an experimental piece of art.
Yeah. Everyone's singing, so it's good though, isn't it?
And there was someone we were watching, I don't know if they'd made their own costume, but they had these like wings on with lights, and there was 3 of them. They all were dancing in a circle, and we were just like transfixed by them dancing.
At like 1 o'clock this morning,
yeah. I think I need one of those garms for future.
Sounds like fun.
It did look like fun.
Now, talking about music, the last single of yours that we've played was 18 Crows, so tell us a bit about the single.
So that was demoed and recorded with Max Hellier from You Me at 6 and the lads from Newman Studios, Max and Jordan, and it was our first kind of writing session with them. And so we didn't know what to expect because we'd never like had a writing session before. Normally we either like write together in studio or like write ourselves and bring it into studio. So we haven't had like exclusively a period of time to like shape a song and like watch it come together with no pressure of the record button, you know. And it was, to be honest, it was the most emotional I've ever been because it's about Grace's GK, our singer, about her cancer journey. And basically about when she was laid in a hospital bed looking out the window and like crows like kind of ominously like sat on her like window ledge, so I have many floors up in the hospital, and the lyrics are kind of written around the perspective of wanting to be that crow instead of in the body that she's in currently at the time, and so like I've never cried at a vocal take before, but when she was doing the like demo vocal take, like there were just tears like streaming down my face. It was really emotional, like I really felt it, and then we brought the rest of the band in and fleshed it out more. Everyone put the parts to it. You had your found sounds with the crow noises.
Before going into the studio, I fleshed out a bit of a demo of a soundscape of some crows because I do a lot of acoustic ecology, like recording outside. So I was working with the sound artist David Delahaye, so we got some really good sounds of crows and some bells, like church bells. I think it's Durham Cathedral actually. That's because I'm from like County Durham area. So we added those to it, and synth and drums and everything.
Yeah, fleshed it
vocals,
out.
Bass.
All the instruments in the band. Grace is very tired today.
I don't know how many hours sleep we got in the tent.
Probably about 2. But yeah, no, it was the most emotional we've ever been, I think, writing a song and watching it come together. Definitely one of our proudest singles
it was just
today.
the process of being in the studio with Newman and Max as well. Like, it was so creative and open, and they were so open to experimenting. So I feel like it was like a nice sort of transition from some of the older stuff that we've done, a bit of change, and we're kind of still leaning in that now when we're in the studio. Every song's like slightly different, sort of experimental with our sound and seeing like what everyone brings to it, and different ideas that come when we're in the studio.
Yeah, fair enough. Is there more new music on the way?
Yeah, so we've been demoing a lot recently. Hopefully gonna get something out by the end of the year. Not 100% sure. We've got a whole like kind of press plan in place for next year and lots of music definitely next year, but I think we would like to get something out this year before we go into however many releases we'll be doing next year. We've got about 5 demos that we're sat on at the minute, so yeah, we're really excited to flesh them out properly again down in the studio.
We're back in the studio, aren't we, next week?
Yeah. How are they all sounding at the moment?
To be honest, it's like Grace was just saying, it's like they're all like in a similar vein to 18 Crows, but there's like say if 18 Crows is your medium, and we've got like songs like at opposite ends of the spectrum, one with an acoustic guitar. We've never tracked an acoustic guitar before, but apparently we're in that era now. And then another one that's just full pelt, kind of more punky than 18 Crows. So, but like I say, not a million miles apart. If you just imagine them on like a linear scale, it's like with 18 Crows in the middle. We're kind of fleshing out what surrounds it and kind of seeing how soft we can be or how loud we can be and still be Venus Girls at the same time.
Like a lot of inspiration from like the 80s goth movement and then also like 90s grunge.
Yeah, there's one that's very Fleetwood Mac actually. Yeah. Eliza sounds like Lindsay Buckingham on it.
Nice.
Again, it still sounds like us. So it's just pushing some boundaries at the minute.
Good. Yeah, that's always good to hear. I'd like to talk about the writing side of things as well. So for you guys, how do tracks normally start off?
So oftentimes, Grace, like I keep calling her Grace, there's 2 Graces in the band. GK, as everybody else knows her as, she usually has like a melody, our singer, and then I'll come over to her house and we'll like try flesh it out a little bit. Then sometimes we'll practice it in rehearsal. Other times we'll just go straight down to studio and like write it, like with Max and Newman. It kind of varies per song, you know, because obviously some kind of write themselves, and then some others you can tell there's potential in there, but you don't quite know how to get it out unless if you have like exterior perspectives. So usually it starts with me and GK, but as soon as we give it to the rest of the girls and they put their stamp on it, it sounds like us then.
And recently, I think Eliza sent like a bunch, because we've all got kind of access to GarageBand or Logic as well. So we'll get some initial ideas in and just share it with the group. So
Yeah.
like, Eliza's shared.
Oh yeah,
some of the
Eliza
boards.
wrote some bangers recently.
Yeah, and then in the past I've shared like some soundscapes and things too, but it's just more atmosphere, mainly for the band rather than anything.
Yeah, nice. And I'm sure you want to be doing some shows. What's your plan for this year?
So we've got Dublin, London and Leeds in October, and I'm not sure if there is actually anything else in the diary for this year.
Yeah, we'll just see.
Yeah,
We've got those announced.
but there is more kind of stuff like that we're trying to sort out.
Uh-huh.
Like, you know, it would be a goal to get over to Europe before the end of the year.
Yeah. We're playing some smaller, like local day festivals too. Is it Marapalooza in Newcastle in August, and I want to say last year in Wellington in
Yeah,
September.
yeah.
So we've got a couple more festivals to see the summer out, and then we go on a headline tour in the autumn.
Nice. 2026, is that going to be the big year, do you think, then? Is
Well,
that the
that's what
idea?
we're banking on.
Busy.
Yeah.
It'll be busier, yeah. It'll be a busier year next year. And as well, like, obviously, like, fitting gigs around releases as well. Because it's kind of hard to do one without the other, you know. So yeah, it's looking busier next year, but that is certainly
On
all
the
we
live
can
front,
say
we've
for
been
now.
busy, but behind the scenes this year.
Yeah, we've
recording.
been kind of hibernating in the
Yeah.
studio for most of this year.
Yeah.
So
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with Venus Girls from 2000 Trees Festival 2025. Now, if you're listening to us on Spotify, well, we also have a Spotify playlist available to you. It's called Fresh. It brings you 150 brand new up-and-coming artists that we feel like you might just enjoy yourselves. And if you want to check that out, search Fresh by The Sound Lab on Spotify or head to the website, thesoundlabuk.co.uk, and click on the Fresh playlist button. So while you go and save that playlist to listen to later on, we've got our next interview from Hooton Tennis Club. Had a chat with them at Truck Festival earlier this year to chat about new music and more, and this is what they had to say. So, Hooton Tennis Club, how are you?
Very well, yes. Hello.
Grand. We've just arrived. We haven't set up or anything, but we've just been walking around, and it's a nice.
Yeah, we need to pitch our tents, don't we?
We need to pitch our tents. Ryan's very hungry. He's getting a little bit aggy.
Hangry. I'm hungry. Yeah.
Yeah.
And panic later when you got to do everything within the short space of time.
The music.
for the show.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna set up after the show.
Possibly.
Okay, let's get this. We'll get the admin out of the way first.
Logistics.
Right,
with
we're going to
Newman
set up
Tennis
after
Club.
the show now.
So who's the contact for the buggy for the?
We're on at 5:45. Really, honestly.
All right. Well, we have got time.
Yeah, we'll do that.
What time you set? Yeah? We agreed on that?
Yeah.
Good.
We're good. Yeah.
And what time you got to be back at the tent ready? Start
Do you
setting up?
manage bands? We could do with a manager.
No, but I thought while we're here, we might as well get the logistics sorted now and then talk about the music later, shall we?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Talking to a microphone. You need to talk into a microphone. Let's get this admin out of the way, right? When you're talking to a microphone.
All of this is staying in as well, by the way. This is it.
Yeah. We're in for the long haul.
It's real. It's realistic. It has to be.
It is. We haven't done one of these for a long time, as you can probably tell.
But
Well, we did.
But it's more authentic, isn't it? All of the stops and starts and little giggles and false comments, and we've actually already pitched our tents. It was all a ruse.
Oh, what?
And it's like but it makes good
twist.
It makes for good podcasts.
Lazy, doesn't it? And slack. Kind of how we want to appear, but we're not. We're very business. Very business.
What was the question?
There wasn't one, I don't think. I think we just.
I think it was how are we? Yeah.
Sorry, fine, thanks. You? Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. You're here at Truck Festival. How's? I think I asked you how's your day going so far, and then we kind of rambled on. So, considering I've asked that question, it's been a while since you released a new song. I think it was towards the end of last year was the track we started to play of
Born
yours.
Died. Yeah.
Yeah.
When was that? 2024.
Last year,
Yeah. November. Yeah, November last year.
So, what's happening? Where's the new music at?
It's coming. We've got some time booked in the studio in September. Yeah, we've basically just sort of been writing, haven't we, and kind of forming this new album.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like it's taking a little bit of time, and we're ready to go. Recording in September. Hopefully, album coming in early 2026, I would imagine.
Hopefully next year. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we've
early
not
next
spoken
year.
with the label yet.
We're going into a studio in September to record. We've got a bit of time there to go and record.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be like last year, and Born Died was like the sort of first bit, but then things got sort of tangled up. Responsibilities, work, timing, booking things that,
It's been like that for like
it's the way
9
it goes,
years,
yeah,
hasn't it, really? Since the
the-
last album.
Yeah.
And then we've thrown a few singles out. But we have booked the time and we are doing it.
This is it now.
This is it.
Do or die.
This doesn't happen now. No one will care, really, will they? So.
No.
This doesn't happen now. It happens next year. The year after that. So.
Yeah, cool. Do you know what direction you're wanting to take it? Do you know how you're wanting it to sound, or is it a case of get into the studio and see what happens?
We've so over the years, because it's been so long, we've actually like banked up loads of demos. I think we've got about 25 odd demos there, which doesn't sound like a lot for 9 years, does it?
Not that many.
But yeah, we've got like a load of stuff, so we're going to hope to get in and we're sort of sifting through it at the moment and trying to find the stuff that sticks, and then with the intention of cutting it down to like a regular album size thing. But we have also been joking about like doing a white album or a Wowie Zowie or a big like double disc thing of like just a big mess of loads of different stuff. So, but it's all time dependent, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and it doesn't feel succinct with the era we live in to just throw out loads of tunes. It could be shooting ourselves in the foot, I don't know.
It might be better to like focus on solid 12 tracks.
Just make one song
make them really good, and then the rest can be rubbish.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like one song on a reel that goes off, then it's money made.
It doesn't even have to be one of our songs.
Well, it's probably the Instagram on the reels. I don't know what's the TikTok.
I think Instagram's Reels, but I don't know either, so we ain't kids anymore, are we? Sorry. Put it out there. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess like whatever we make, it's going to be like the four of us making it. Sorry, but what I mean is like it's just going to sound like Hooton Tennis Club. Hopefully, there's no kind of like expectation for what it needs to sound like.
There's no
or
like
anything,
sudden genre change. Or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
No, we're not going prog or
Yeah.
It's not going to be an R&B record or anything like that.
Shame.
I think it stems as well from like having like James and Ryan, like the two kind of main songwriters. So it's always going to be kind of like a bit of a mixed bag of like songs in terms of like how they're feeling at the time when they're writing them, and yeah, I think it's quite good to have that kind of variability in their songwriting. I guess I don't know. Maybe James and Ryan can add to that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have two songwriters in a band. More merrier, isn't it? Just kind of keep it fun. See different perspectives you learn from each other doing like different songwriters. Yeah, we're never like miles apart, are we? Generally, it kind of comes together and sounds Hooton, even though we kind of make them separate. There's a few that we make together, but yeah.
Tell us a bit about the writing side of things then. So for you guys, how do the tracks normally start off?
I'd say they start with kind of, maybe I'll be like humming a sentence, like voice memo on the way to work, and then like the riff will click in my head, and then I'll want to get home and write that riff, and then I work out a day to do it in my practice room, and then I bash about on instruments, and then a demo forms. Mostly, some just like happen, and it's like, wow, that took like 2 minutes. And it's like, just comes out, like full songs. But yeah, it's different every time, really. Just try and capture it and see what sticks, you know. Yeah.
And I would say it's the same process for me, and then we both then bring it to the practice room, and it gets fleshed out.
Yeah.
And dissected, and what can be improved and all that stuff. So
yeah, nice. And once you finish here this weekend, what's the plan for doing some shows?
Well, we don't actually have anything else booked in, but we are hoping to get some stuff booked on the back of the next single release. There'll be some sort of album campaign thing. Usually, booking shows, you need something to be promoting over time as well. Once that's in place, then we'll be looking at
nice, cool,
which
guys.
will be really good fun.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with Hooton Tennis Club from Truck Festival 2025. Now, if you're loving all of today's interviews, then you can listen to them once again in an edited form on our international radio show. It comes alongside a load of new music and a live session too. It lasts for 2 hours, and if you want to check that out, head to the website, thesoundlabuk.co.uk, and click International Radio Show. So it's time for our final new interview of the show, and it comes from Sam and Garrett, who we had a catch up with not too long ago, and this is what he had to say. So, Sam and Garrett, how are you?
Yeah, great, man. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. So we've been playing a single of yours called Be Free. Tell us a bit about the single, first of all.
Yeah, the song actually started just this melody that you hear, da-dum, da-dum, da, and I just had that going for ages. And I didn't really have any other lyrics or anything else. And then it just kind of started to develop over time. I just had a little voice note on my phone, and then the song just started to develop into the second part. And it's really just about what it says on the tin, just being free. I think like so many of us in our world, kind of are a bit afraid of what people think of us or try to fit into certain standards and certain ways. And it's really just an invitation for people to open up, to rejoice in the beauty of life and to just be free. So
Nice. And we've played a couple of singles of yours now. Are we now gearing up towards another bigger body of work?
Yeah, I have a new album. I'm still not sure when it's going to be out because these things sometimes they take a little bit longer than I would like them to. But yeah, now I'm working on a full-length album. It's going to be 13 songs, and I'm hoping it's going to be available in September, but I'm still waiting on a few collaborations from friends and certain things. So it's shaping up nicely.
Nice. How's it sounding?
Yeah, amazing.
Good. There's a fair few records of yours already out there, EPs as well. How's this record sounding in comparison to the music of yours that's already out there?
Yeah, this one is kind of like more of an ode to like the 60s, 70s. I always loved Neil Young, James Taylor, Bob Dylan, the Beatles. Like I always loved this kind of era, of music. And a lot of the songs, they're kind of an ode to that era. And but it's always a mix, there's still some mantras, there's still some reggae. It's always a mix because I love so many different types of music. So anytime anybody asks me like, what kind of music do you make? I'm like, I don't know how to say it. It's like such a mishmash of so many things. But yeah, it's really an ode to this era, the 60s and 70s period.
Nice. And the sound that you've made with the record, is it the sound you wanted, or is it just kind of how it's turning out?
Yeah, it's like I recorded the album with my friend who's also an incredible musician. She's called Ajit. And, I'm not so technical, to be honest. I don't really understand like about all these microphones and what they do and all this stuff. I love playing and singing the songs. But she's really knowledgeable about all these things, and she had all these like old school vintage mics and amplifiers and guitars that were used and stuff. So I think the whole sound of it has also got this very vintage sound, but it's also very current as well. So I'm super happy with that because it feels like a perfect balance,
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure you wrote more than what's making it onto the record. What kind of happens to those? Do you consider them again down the line, or is it a case of binning them off and you'll start again?
Yeah, good question. I had so many songs, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. I think those songs now, they'll just be on another body of work to come in the future. But I had so many that when I went into the studio, it was really just like it took a few days of just kind of figuring out like which songs we're going to choose. And then it was a bit sad as well, then feeling like, oh, these ones aren't going to make it. And it's like they got left out of the party. But I'm sure they'll come back at some point, yeah, on another album or an EP or something.
Nice, nice. I like to talk about the writing side of things as well. So for you, how do tracks normally start off?
Yeah, it's usually the melody that comes, or like I'll just sit with the guitar, play some chords, a melody will come, like with Be Free, da dum day dum da dum da, and then the words will start to form. And usually I don't even know what the song's about until sort of halfway through. I'm just kind of mumbling and singing something, and it starts to take shape. And then something kind of clicks, and I'm like, that's what it's about. And then from that, it develops more, and I'm able to like add more words. And so it's usually like that. It's very spontaneous, very random. I never sit down and think, today I'm gonna write a song. It just kind of comes, very randomly.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to talk about the lyrics as well. How straightforward is it to add the lyrics to the music, and do they have to mean something as well, or because I know some artists just add words because they fit? What's it like for you?
Yeah, I think it's like whatever's current and relevant in my world and whatever, which is changing all the time, but it's like whatever the state I'm sort of in that moment, or whatever I'm feeling to convey, it will usually come out like that. But it's also not like a premeditated thing. It's never, like I said, just something that I'm like, okay, I want to write about this, or that it just kind of comes, and then it starts to flow. So it's a bit of a weird one to try to even explain, because it's not like, yeah, it's almost like just some spirit comes through and you just have to be there to capture it. And I just have to get my phone, hit record, and capture the magic, rather than me sitting trying to like, okay, I'm going to write about this and this would be interesting, or this. It's very, very very natural somehow. Like I'm not really thinking about it, it just kind of comes. And as I said, then the words will start to come, and then it makes sense. I'm like, okay, this is about this. And then more words and ideas will flow from that, as opposed to trying to come up with an idea before and then, trying to work on that. It just kind of happens very in the moment.
Nice. And you've been doing some shows. You've got a bunch more still to come this year. Bet you can't wait to be doing even more shows.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot actually. And we're doing festivals now. It's like full festival season, and then November, November into December is going to be like the big tour, like Europe tour. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And you've got a couple of dates here in the UK at the start of December in London and Bristol as well. And already got a date booked in for next year as well. Is next year going to be a touring year again, do you think?
Yeah, next year I'm going to actually focus more on, I'm going to go to South America again, Brazil, Argentina, Chile. I'm going to try and make it over to India as well. Places that I've never played as well. That's also something. This year I'm going to be going to Mauritius, which I've never been to. But it's also really nice for me to come back and play in the UK, because when I started out, I was just on the street busking in Camden, and then I got to go back and play in Coco, which was a venue that I used to go to and watch bands and watch artists that I loved. So that was a surreal experience to go and actually play in Coco, and then this year it'll be Shepherd's Bush Empire, which is another great venue that I've been to many, many times. So yeah, I feel really blessed and honored that I'm able to come back and play these gigs.
Yeah, I bet. And you mentioned Mauritius as one place you've not been to yet. Is there anywhere else that you've not got to before that you want to go and play at some point?
Yeah, I'd love to play in Africa, I'd love to go to South Africa. I'd love to go to Africa. I'd love to go to Ghana. Ethiopia, all these places where music is such a big part of the culture. And I just love to experience it, as well as obviously be able to play my music. But I'd love to go to Africa. That's one place I'd love to go for sure.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with Sam Garrett. Now, this is the part of the show where we like to throw back in time, and we're going back just a couple of years to 2000 Trees Festival 2023, where we had the pleasure of chatting to Bullet For My Valentine, who were one of the headliners at the festival that weekend. So, Bullet For My Valentine, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad here at Trees.
Yep.
How's your day been so far? Have you managed to do much today so far?
Sleep, eat, shower, and come here.
And you ready for later?
Yeah. Only just got here, but it's cool. I've never been here before, so we'll see how the day goes. Weather's great. Everyone seems to be drinking, having a good time, so
yeah,
happy days.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll go back in time just a little bit, just after the pandemic, and you actually got to play one of the first festivals back at Download. What was it like on that first day to be able to play a festival in such strange conditions?
It was amazing. I genuinely thought it was all over for music and live music especially, so to be able to play again and see all the fans and music lovers out there again, regardless if we was headlining or not, but we were headlining at Download, the first festival back, pilot scheme, and it was just the best feeling ever.
Yeah.
It was just so terrifying in case everything had gone, but it hasn't, and here we are again.
No, we're back.
Yeah.
Back doing it all again. And you released an album as well.
Yes.
A couple of years ago. That's your most recent release. So for those who haven't heard it yet, and I'm sure there's not many, but tell us a little bit about that release.
It's a self-titled album called Bullet For My Valentine. It's probably one of our heaviest records to date. I think it's the 7th album. The pandemic and the lockdowns actually benefited that record loads because it gave us so much more time to work on it and perfect it and really go for it. So ironically, that worked out really well for us. and with the Download thing, it's been really good. But it's a really strong album, super heavy, and it's done us really good.
Yeah, good. And with it being the heaviest, like you've said, that you've ever done, was it the plan to do that, or is that simply just how the record turned out?
I think it was. There was the stuff that was coming out was quite aggressive anyway because how things were in the world at that time. So, and then we started writing Parasite, the song 1 on the album, and Matt turned to, "You really gonna go there?" And I was like, let's go there. And from that moment on, it was just make it as heavy as possible. And we've got the band now. Everyone's on fire, and everyone's just, all the guys are just amazing musicians, So
yeah, good.
We can do it now. So
yeah, absolutely. And have you had a chance to start writing on new music now? Because it's obviously been a couple of years.
Not quite yet. I did piece my studio back together 2 days ago, but we've been so busy. We'll go in September at the end of the year because we've got a few more things at end of the year. But we'll start writing properly next year and throw another album out hopefully by the end of the year.
Good. And then when it comes to writing, how do tracks tend to start off for you guys? Is it a lyric, a riff, a melody? How do things start off normally?
It's usually a guitar riff or some sort of riff, but Matt has, he's starting to sort of, he's coming out with melody lines and stuff and trying to write music around that, so that's cool as well, but the majority is a riff. Starts with a riff.
Good.
Riff first.
Yeah. And when you've got your demos sorted and you step foot into the studio, how does it then go from that demo to a finished track?
I guess it's just arranged and organised, most of the time the demos are pretty strong and complete before we start recording anyway, so that's it really. It's not just like a riff on a mixtape or a voice recording. We put them into a DAW, a Pro Tools or whatever, and then just build it from there.
Yeah. And has your process of writing, recording changed over the many years you've been in a band?
Not too much, no. I mean, Matt's been pretty much the main songwriter. I'm throwing riffs and ideas around with him as well. But he's sort of the main. He's the the brains behind the thing. So
Yeah, good. And people will want to see you live. What's the plan going forward and doing some live shows?
we got a few more festivals out in Europe. This one's really cool because it's like 2 hours from home.
Yeah.
I think Jace is the closest. He lives like 30 minutes up the road. So we finish this one and we go out to Europe in end of July and August. One more in September out there somewhere, and then hopefully a little stint in America before the end of the year. I'm not quite sure about the end of the year. There may be some things coming in, but once the end of the year is done, that's it. We'll stop and then start writing and recording again.
And you've obviously toured many places around the world, but there must be places you haven't been to yet. Is there anywhere that you want to get to at some point that you haven't been to yet?
Like Alaska, Iceland. I don't know if they do shows up there. Never been to India. Where else? We've been a lot of places actually.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if Korea does any shows or we did a show in Hong Kong once, but it's not exactly China. So I don't know. There's a few places we haven't been. Whether there's any call for bands there, I don't know, but we'll see.
You'll see.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
no, for sure. And obviously, having been around for many years now, do you feel like you've developed into the best you can be, or do you think there's more that you want to try and see if you can accomplish?
Well, musically.
Musically, yeah.
Yeah, there's always more to accomplish, I think, and as long as you keep pushing yourself to find something new that you didn't know before, then that's healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there will be some
Positive.
up and coming artists who will probably watch this interview. If you could give them some advice, what's one piece of advice that you wish you could have known first of all when you started out, or?
Just be willing to sacrifice a hell of a lot. But you know, once you sacrifice, you know, once that's the only way that you'll be successful. You know,
Yeah.
You know, you can't have your cake and eat it.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with Bullet For My Valentine from 2000 Trees Festival 2023. And that's the end of the show for another week, I am afraid. But don't worry, we will be back next week. But if you can't wait until then, social media at The Sound Lab, yes, on all the socials. And you can also check out the website, thesoundlabuk.co.uk. And we will be back next week for another episode of Interviews Unedited. Goodbye.